All right, here we are one day later, and this thing is still as awesome as it was yesterday, so that's good news. And we've got it plugged into the 5150. So we're going Ibanez through the pedal board into the 5150 out of this EVH 2x12 cab. We have two Electro Voice EVM 12L/S speaker variants in this 2x12 cab. So that's a really rock solid combination, and one of my favorites. These days, I'd say I plug into this rig more often than not. But this guitar sounds great in any amplifier, with any cab, and any speaker. So that's really good news. And I attribute that to these pickups. They're kind of hi-fi. They have a lot to say, but they're not too in your face. So kind of a tightrope walk that they're walking there. But that's the rig. We're being captured by one Sennheiser E906, which is on the right speaker. That's being fed into my Focusrite Scarlett 18i20 interface, and that is capturing the sound. So just one channel and one speaker, but I think that's plenty to give you an idea what this thing sounds like. So let's go ahead and just hear some sounds. I know this video's gone on long enough as is, so we're just gonna keep it short and not beat this thing into the ground, but let's go ahead and at least hear the main tones. Here's our bridge position. This is humbucker, full open, and I have our tone full open as well. So it's pretty quiet on our quiet channel of the 5150. Really nice clean sound, and let's just go through the other sounds real quick. This is our humbucker and neck inner coils on position 2, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's our single coils, inner coils on position 2. So that's position 2. Position 3 is our regular, or what you would assume on a 3-position switch with a 2 humbucker guitar, kind of both of them, and here's both of them together. And our position 4, which I believe is this pickup out of phase, or it could also just be this single side of the coil out of phase. There's a lot here, so I apologize for not knowing every single aspect of these positions, but just know that it's not your standard 5-way switch on a 2 humbucker guitar. Position 3. Okay, position 4. All right, our final position is our neck humbucker, which should be fairly straightforward. No splitting, no phase, anything, just standard neck humbucker. So there's all 5 positions on this guitar in a clean setting, and I think that you'll probably stick to either the bridge or the neck humbucker if you are going to add some dirt to it, but it's nice to know that we have a few of those other options that can give us some tonal variety. So from here on out, we're just going to stick to the bridge or the neck, keep it simple, and give you kind of a real-world demo of this guitar with some dirty sounds. Let's start with a tube screamer. That's always where I like to start when it comes to adding a little bit of dirt. It's kind of a rhythm crunch, not necessarily a full-on lead, at least on my pedal board. So here we go, Ibanez tube screamer into an Ibanez SC420 guitar. right, Tube Screamer, really nice. That's a very acceptable rhythm channel. Let's go ahead and just hear it a little up higher on the neck. All right, so there's a little higher up on the neck. Let's go to the Super Overdrive SD1. This is one of my favorite Boss pedals, and it's kind of the in-between the Tube Screamer and the high gain option. So here's our Super Overdrive OD1. So what can I tell you about this guitar other than it just freaking plays so nicely? I kind of don't even want to say anything. I just want to play it. And I guess I'll apologize if I'm shutting my mouth and just playing a little bit too much. But I think that that's probably better than hearing me yammer for as long as we have already. But let's go up the scale again and let's go into the metal zone and see what that sounds like with both the bridge and the neck and go from there. So here we go, metal zone all the way up. So there's our bridge humbucker with the metal zone. That's a pretty classic sound, pure metal, and it's not too heavy that it wouldn't fit in with a little George Thorogood there. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of his, but it felt right. But here's the neck humbucker with that metal zone. So I would say the neck humbucker is a little too round, a little undefined with the metal zone, so probably not the best combo, but I love that humbucker in the metal zone with the humbucker position all the way open. Sounds like this. Great metal sounds, and something that I could just play for hours and hours and hours. I will not subject you to that. That's all I want to do in this video, is introduce you to this guitar and kind of open your eyes to, number one, this particular model, but this whole era in Ibanez history. They were on top of the world in the late 90s, and they were selling pretty much more guitars than anyone else, and they had the prestige, not to quote their line of custom shop guitars, but they had the prestige and the extra cash flow, I guess, to experiment a little bit. And they came out with something like this, which is not what you would expect a late 90s Ibanez to look and feel like, but it sounds pretty much on point for what I would expect. It's not the most metal hungry guitar that you'll come across. there's no whammy bar, so it's not for that application. But it can sure chug. These humbuckers are rich, they are full, they're not too trebly or too bass heavy. Just a really nice combination of sounds and something unique, something you don't necessarily hear from a Gibson or a PRS humbucker. So cool. I hope that you guys liked learning about this guitar. If you have any specific history with this model or any of the 220 or the 620 or even the 1620, I would love to hear your take. And if you have any pictures or videos, send them my way so we can check them out. So as always, feel free to like and subscribe if you like this content. That always helps. And hopefully I will see you on the next one.